She's outspoken. She's not afraid to ask tough questions. She's not afraid to speak her mind. You've read her column. Maybe you're a fan on Facebook. No topic is off limits. Straight to the point. There's no chaser. You're now watching Straight Talk with Carla Zuill.
And welcome back to Straight Talk with Carla Zuill. Now, before the break, we were talking to Ms. Linda Miser, who is a gay woman. Linda, you had said that before the break that you turned to God solidly for 10 years in an attempt to fight your gay feelings and perhaps, this isn't really who you are. You talked about prior to that being on the brink of suicide. Now, let's come full circle. What made you decide, let Linda be happy?
I don't know if I decided it, tell you the truth. Somebody that I was dating at the time decided it for me. It's the weirdest experience. She just decided to out me one day. And I made a decision after that. Like, once my parents knew, that was it.
How did she out you?
Just told my parents.
Why? Did she feel that you were living a lie?
Well, she felt I was living a lie, and I was. But not only that, she felt that I wasn't making the type of commitment that you should make to somebody that you love. And I wasn't going to do it because I fell into this comfortability where I could do the two rules, I was going along smoothly, but at that point I had also stopped being active in my religion because I really felt like I was a fraud. Mm-hmm. And people might say a lot of things about me, but they certainly can't say I'm fraudulent.
So dating, back in those days, being in the closet, Bermuda's very homophobic. So how did you date? Just were you weren't able to publicly show affection, for example, back then. So what did dating consist of?
Well, this is the beauty about being a gay woman as opposed to a gay man. And it is unfair, I will say that. Mm-hmm. But it's the way it is. People are not always, I would say, they're not always judgmental if they see two somewhat attractive women together. Mm-hmm. They only get judgmental if they see someone that they clearly identify as gay or they think is playing a male role, then they become judgmental. But I dated a very attractive woman. I think I'm fairly cute and attractive. So, we were able to just get by like we're friends, mm-hmm. even though there may have been a whisper or two or whatever. But we were just able to just go out and be normal. But I never stood up and said, this is my girlfriend, and she never stood up and said, this was my girlfriend. So we were able to function.
But was it a disadvantage? I mean, if I was with my boyfriend, I can say, hey, that's my man. So did you feel ever that you were at a disadvantage because you couldn't openly say, that's my girlfriend?
Of course. And it's not even about being at a disadvantage, right? It's the ability to not be myself and have the same freedoms that you're afforded in a relationship. Mm-hmm. And how is that fair? And so every time, take for example, if I go to work on a Monday and everybody's like, oh, what you do for the weekend? You know what you're going to say? Oh, me and my man went this and that and we had a good time and all of this stuff. We went with the family. And I would say, oh, I had a good time. I just hung out with some friends. Mm-hmm. Because if I turn around and say, oh, me and my girlfriend went here and there, then it's going to open up this whole dialogue. And then it becomes more about the topic than about me as a human being.
Now, she outed you to your parents. Was it a contentious type of situation, or was just Mr. and Mr. Miser, your daughter's gay?
Well, my parents are Bermudian. Bermudian parents, they don't play. You know what I mean? Wasn't like my parents said, like, thank you for the information and welcome to the family. But we got through it. It was difficult, and my mom's deceased now, and one of the things that hurt me tremendously is my mom said that she knew and had been waiting for me to tell her for years. Because I think mothers know. Mm-hmm. I don't think people should be fooled. They're not fooling their mothers,
Right.
Mothers have that connection. They may be in denial, but they know. Mm-hmm. And I think they want you to be honest, even though they might not take it good. But if a mother really loves their child, or if any parent really loves their child, and that love is unconditional, they'll come around. But it's difficult. It's difficult in this society. And my parents came around, and, I'm the love of my mother's life.
Were you relieved?
Somewhat relieved, but then, you know, it had to go further because it wasn't just my parents, and my parents are not like the secretive type, so they were going to tell somebody in the family and whatever. And so the strangest thing is, one day I went to a family picnic, and it was the first family picnic we had had in years, and all of my family was there, and I just like told everybody, even my little cousins. And then my little cousins were calling me down from the beach saying, "Oh, come down here, I just told them that you're gay. Didn't you say you're gay?" And then I'm like, yeah, because they don't, that's the beauty about kids. They don't have those prejudices until we tell them about it.
So what about now? You have a sibling. How is she?
Oh, my sister loves me. I mean, it was a difficult transition for her, no doubt. And I'm sure it continues to be. But I am my sister's sister. And I am her friend, you know. And at the end of the day, that's got to be what's important. You know, I'm a fantastic auntie to my niece and nephew. I'm a fantastic daughter, you know. And I'm all of those things because I'm just being me. And one time in school, my nephew did a project on sexuality, and he was most proud to say, you know, I have a live example in my aunt who I love to death, and he's just the greatest nephew ever.
Right. So Linda, when we get back, I'd like to talk to you a little about other experiences that your gay friends have had and how being gay has impacted their life, whether it's been negatively or positively. And we'll have more Straight Talk with Carla Zuill when we return.
Like, how is it fair that, you know, I have to pay the same, I have to put everything out the same, and you have the same expectations of me as America, but you want to stifle my rights?
More Straight Talk after these messages.